This star saint truly is the king of the fourth. G'day, it's Jordan Keneal here, and on the scouting report this week, we're taking a look at how Max King went from almost anonymous in the first three quarters against Richmond to becoming an unstoppable force in a match-winning effort. King had 6 disposals and 1 behind to his name at three-quarter time. You might have noticed if you were following along in the match centre that he hadn't even been a forward 50 target about 5 minutes into the second quarter. That wasn't through a lack of him presenting. Let's break down the film and start with why the ball wasn't coming his way early. This ball might have been for a leading King, but Tim Membry wrong-footed his man and he was able to come in and take the grab. There was also this kick that ended up in Rowan Marshall's hands, made that much easier because Robbie Tarrant couldn't leave King to go for the intercept. The only one where Max might have been the best option was here with Membry. There were plenty of Saints streaming forward, but King had the right position here. The Saints ended up kicking a goal from this play anyway, so there was no harm done. So what exactly happened for such a dramatic change to occur in the fourth quarter? Maybe a lot of that rests with the Tigers running out of steam, but for King it really was just a reward for effort. We talked about this the other week with Jack Lukosius, but high-scoring turnover footy requires key forwards to sprint towards the goals and then spin around and lead back up at the right time. King did that superbly. Watch him get Robbie Tarrant off balance here and then take this one out on the lead. We know he's a really strong contested mark, and in the last couple of weeks we've seen when he's on, there's almost nothing you can do to stop him. Tarrant's fist is right there and perfectly timed, but King's reach is just a fraction too much. We saw it the week before against Alex Pearce too. He was in the right spot at the right time, but King's outstretched arms got the better of Pearce. And this one? How do you even explain this play? Pearce gets slowed down a little bit around this pin down, but works so hard to get back in front of King. He wraps the Saint up and realises he's not going to be able to stop him, so he sort of shoves King towards the pack. Somehow, Max, while tracking backwards and barely even getting off the ground, comfortably takes this contested grab. It's unstoppable stuff. Let's shift across the border to a team that hasn't come down from last Friday's glory yet. The buzz is certainly back in Adelaide, and Crows fans are flocking to see the Josh Rachele show. It took us just one game to see what makes him so spectacular, with 5 goals on debut. And while he hasn't been as electric in games 2 and 3, we've been able to see what he's like in some really testing game situations. He was up and about with his goal early in the showdown, and he let his emotions shine through. Equally, you could see how disappointed he was in the dying minutes when he ran through the protected zone and gave away a 50-metre penalty. At that point in the match, it could have been curtains if Travis Boak kicks that goal. But he didn't. So Rachele compartmentalises it and goes to the other end and throws himself at the ball, desperately trying to make amends. Then we get to the last 10 seconds of the game. Who's presenting again? Rachele, of course. He doesn't take the mark, but he's able to get the ball down to the front and centre spot where Lockie Murphy rows. He gets cleaned up and he gets taken off. The rest, well, we know that. It's just history off Jordan Dawson's boot. But you had to love how well Rachele responded after what was a crushing mistake. When it comes to what makes a forward really exciting, it's generally a combination of strength, speed, high marking, and creativity around the goals. Rachele ticks all those boxes. Take a look at his speed here to kick his 5th goal against the Dockers in round 1. He starts side by side with Heath Chapman and ambles up towards the 50. As soon as the ball comes off Brodie Smith's boot, Rachele darts off, and with just 6 steps, he's able to create a good 2 metres of space. You could even see when he was a 16-year-old playing against top-age guys in the NAB League that he had the strength to break tackles, and he's also got a great fend-off in traffic. Incredible goal sense? Well, we know how sharp his snapping is. And the showmanship was absolutely on full display with this massive goal from 60 metres while playing for Australia. All we need to see now is a screamer, and we'll have all the box office requirements sorted. Anyway, normally this would be the part where I sign off, but this week we're going to finish the wrap with just a few minutes of Max King taking contested marks for fun. Enjoy!
Had a rough start to the last season as well. The Dogs will be horrendous if they can't get up from here for them. Kick towards the wing. King, great set of hands.
James Gallagher, they've done a good job.
And Jono, after this play, after Max King goes
There it
up,
is, there's the one you're after.
shows what we...
Goes back for seconds. Mychek disposed of. So there's good intent from the Saints here. Ross feeds it back to Long. It's a haphazard kick. So they could take another intercept mark here, Collingwood, unless Max King. Time off.
So Marsh, maybe the first shot of the night. No, he's going to push it to King. He gets a good look and he takes a beauty.
There's only 7 players on the ground for St Kilda have had the ball more than twice in this term.
Gresham driving ball forward. There's your man, Jared.
Taylor trying to do his best, but he handballs it straight to Caulfield. And suddenly everything swings the other way. Steele. Swans hadn't really got defensively out of kilter, but King still takes the mark anyway.
Fans, every time they've looked up, they've seen St Kilda defenders, the St Kilda press sitting back nicely waiting for them. So it shows to me that they're switched on and ready to go.
Steele to Loney. Loney to the top of the goal square. King front spot on Hurley.
Well, it's all got a bit harder than maybe had to be. Battle back to Billings. Big fly perhaps from King. He flew and grabbed it. And he's straight in front of terrific grab.
Relax, stand up.
Might be a little worried he might try and take him on. Just hems himself in. Perfect kick onto the chest of Marshall. Benefits so much from Paddy Ryder arriving and then towards King. Just gets himself into a great spot. Step between 3 dogs. Never took it. Buys himself a little room. Doesn't kick it as he would have liked. Falls near the goal square. Max King!
Good pair of hands. Now they can construct something. Loney wanted to go but couldn't. Sideways one to Hill. Inside 50 goes Hill. King!
They're down 11-5 and the ball's really living in St Kilda's forward half.
Yeah, they're controlling it by hand, aren't they, effectively? And then Steele with the entry kick. And King hangs on this time. Then Morrison, Scrimshaw charging through. Curled the kick back cleverly to Mitchell. He couldn't quite find it initially. Oh, Impey put everything he had into that hand pass and it's turned over. And here are the numbers again for the Saints. 1-on-1 as the Saints take it to the max.
In the terraces, frustrated at their side at the moment. Butler launches a long ball. King over the top, double grabber. There was memories, handball back to Steele. Concede some ground. Sinclair stepped around Matheson to the goal square. Andrews, oh, Max King.
Seeing a good game of footy. And you're getting your East 2 neck revolt. Hunter with the last couple of clearances doing well at those stoppages. Membry, drive it in. King again. By Ryder or King. He was desperate for a little hit up. Here's King again. And he's the king of the pack. Rising over them all.
Shouldn't just bomb it long to a spot. He kicked it to a position where King could play to his strengths.
Yeah.
He could actually run and launch at the ball.
One more provides an option by hand. They elect to go that way. Drops the ball about 30 from home. Massive pack of plays. First sight of King. The hands are up. And when he reaches out, good luck. Assesses the options and then just takes a bit off and kick back towards King again.